It was a quiet Tuesday morning in the small town of Maple Glen, Pennsylvania. The kind of place where people still leave their doors unlocked, and the loudest noise you'll hear is the school bus braking at the corner of Oak and Main. But on September 12th, 2022, something happened that shattered that quiet forever. Her name was Erin Caldwell, 23 years old, recent college graduate, future elementary school teacher. Bright, kind, not the type of girl you expect to simply vanish. But by 2:45 p.m. that day she did. Without warning, without a trace. And the clock started ticking. Erin left her part-time job at Little Pines bookstore just after 11:30 a.m., waving goodbye to her co-worker before heading out to run errands. She was supposed to meet her mother for lunch around 1 o'clock. She never showed. Her last known location was caught on a single traffic camera, turning left off Pinecrest Avenue, roughly 5 blocks from her apartment. After that, nothing. Her phone stopped pinging. Her car was never recovered. Her debit card was never used again. In a town of fewer than 9,000 people, Erin Caldwell had somehow vanished into thin air. And investigators knew that the first 48 hours were all they had. Her mother, Dana Caldwell, called her 3 times between 1:10 and 2 p.m. No answer. By 3:30, she was at the police station filing a missing person report. Now, most departments don't treat adult disappearances with urgency, especially if there's no sign of struggle. But something about Dana's face, the raw panic, the trembling voice, made Officer Raines type faster than usual. He filed the report within 15 minutes. That night, Erin's name and photo were shared to a town-wide bulletin board. A canvas of maple leaves, lawn chairs, and now a missing girl. By morning, search parties were mobilized. Friends, neighbors, and even strangers combed nearby hiking trails and lakes. Police reviewed nearby security cameras. One grainy frame showed a black SUV parked near a trailhead off Cobble Hill, a place Erin used to walk as a teen. The timestamp was 12:17 p.m., 27 minutes after she left the bookstore. The SUV didn't belong to her, and by the time police got there, it was gone. A jogger reported seeing someone who matched Erin's description near the Cobble Hill Trail around 12:30, walking alone, holding her phone. But the witness admitted they didn't see her face, just a girl with dark hair, white shirt, blue jeans. Close enough, maybe, but not certain. Still, it was the closest lead they had. Meanwhile, her social media accounts went silent. Erin had posted nearly daily, sharing photos of her rescue dog, schoolwork, playlists, and handwritten poetry. The silence was loud. Digital forensics later found her last phone activity was an outgoing text to her best friend at 12:22 p.m. It read, "Hey, something weird," and then it cut off. That was it. Just 4 words. No punctuation. No follow-up. Just a sudden end. By hour 36, the FBI was looped in. The case had eerie similarities to a previous abduction in a nearby county. Another woman, early 20s, vanished while walking in daylight. Last seen near a hiking trail. That case was still unsolved. Locals started to panic. The idea that someone could be out there, watching, waiting, wasn't just paranoia anymore. It was possible. It was real. Then came the voicemail. At 2:07 a.m., on day 2, Erin's father received a missed call from her number. No ringtone, just the missed notification. A single voicemail followed. It was 3 seconds long. Static, then a short gasp. Female, strained, almost choked. No words, but it was her voice. Her parents knew it. A mother always knows. Police traced the signal to a rural cell tower near Miller's Quarry, 11 miles from town. They searched the area by sunrise. Nothing. Not her phone. Not a piece of clothing. Just empty roads and silence. Rumors started swirling. Was it someone she knew? A friend? A jealous ex? Or was it random? A stranger who spotted her alone for just long enough to make a move? Police interrogated her ex-boyfriend, a high school sweetheart she broke up with a year ago. He had a solid alibi, confirmed by security footage and time-stamped gas receipts. Another dead end. The internet didn't help. True crime sleuths latched onto the voicemail, analyzing every decibel. Was there a background noise? A voice behind the gasp? Could have been faked, but investigators were already far ahead. That gasp wasn't faked. It was real. Audio engineers confirmed it contained real-time environmental distortion consistent with movement, possibly inside a vehicle. At hour 47, just 1 hour before the window closed, a breakthrough came, and it came from a dog. A bloodhound with a local K-9 unit picked up Erin's scent on an old hiking trail near the Cobble Hill Woods. The scent trail was brief, but it didn't loop or drift. It ended sharply. That told police something chilling. She didn't walk away. She was taken, and then the 48 hours passed. The golden window slammed shut. After that, the odds dropped dramatically. Statistically, if a missing person isn't found in that window, the chances of recovery fall by over 60%. But this case wasn't going cold. Not yet, because on the morning of day 3, an elderly farmer reported seeing a flash of silver cloth near the edge of his property, something unusual tangled in the weeds of an old fence line. He walked over. It was part of a torn backpack. Inside, a single AirPod and a phone charger, both confirmed to belong to Erin Caldwell. The field was 5 miles from Miller's Quarry, 5 miles from the voicemail. And just like that, everything changed again.
The field where Erin's backpack was found stretched far beyond the road, overgrown with weeds and framed by rusted fences. It hadn't been farmed in years. Crows scattered when investigators arrived, circling above like omens. The silver backpack, half torn and stained with dirt, was unmistakably Erin's. Her initials, stitched inside the lining, confirmed it. But what chilled the search team wasn't just the bag, it was what was missing from it. Her notebook was gone. Erin was known for writing poetry. Everywhere she went, she carried a black spiral notebook, her brain, she once called it. Friends said it was full of lists, random thoughts, poems, even passwords. It was deeply personal. And now it was gone. That suggested intent. Someone had opened her bag, taken something, and left it behind like a breadcrumb, or a warning. Police expanded their search outward from the field. Cadaver dogs were deployed. Drones swept overhead. For 48 more hours, the search intensified. But the land was endless. No new evidence surfaced. And time, once again, began to run thin. Theories began to split into 2 camps. 1. This was a stranger abduction, fast and opportunistic. 2. It was personal, someone who knew Erin, who understood what mattered to her, and was using it to hurt her or hide her. Both possibilities were terrifying. Then another piece of the puzzle emerged, but not from the police. From a podcast listener. A woman in Ohio emailed the Caldwell family after hearing Erin's name on a true crime podcast. She claimed she had met someone online 6 months earlier under the username Awake Owl. They'd chatted about books and philosophy. The woman never met him in person, but she remembered something strange. He once described a dream he had about a girl with blue eyes and poetry in her backpack. Erin had blue eyes. The woman sent over screenshots. Investigators traced the account to a burner phone with a VPN. But the username, Awake Owl, was active on a niche literature forum under another alias, Obscured Light. That user had posted dozens of cryptic poems, including one just 2 days after Erin vanished.
It read,
She walked the edge of light and shade / a ghost of thought, a thread unmade / I kept her words, she dropped her name / and disappeared from day again. It wasn't proof, but it was something. Digital Crimes Division subpoenaed metadata from the forum. It led to a single IP ping logged from a motel Wi-Fi router 30 miles from Maple Glen. Police raced to the location. The motel clerk didn't remember anyone matching Erin's description. But security footage told another story. On September 13th, one day after Erin vanished, a man wearing a baseball cap and oversized hoodie had checked in using the name Jonathan Blake. The ID was fake, but the footage showed him loading what looked like a large duffel bag into his room. His face was never fully visible. He checked out less than 12 hours later. The room had been wiped down. Too clean. Almost like he knew what he was doing. Police circulated the images. No confirmed ID. No known connection to Erin. But forensic techs found a partial thumbprint on the bathroom light switch. It was smudged, partial, but promising. And it didn't match anyone in the system. Erin's family held a vigil the next night, standing in a circle with candles outside the bookstore where she was last seen. Her mother spoke briefly, her voice shaking. "If someone has her, we are begging you, please let her come home." The media picked up the story again. National coverage brought tips, most useless. People saw Erin in other towns, on subways, in gas stations. But none of it checked out. A week passed. Then 10 days. Then 2 weeks. Hope flickered. Until the woods gave something back. A hiker, unfamiliar with the area, took a wrong turn off the Cobble Hill Trail and ended up at a dried creek bed. There, tucked beneath a fallen log, was a pair of torn jeans, muddy, faded, with a ripped belt loop. Police confirmed they belonged to Erin within hours. A hair tie was found nearby, and something else, a blue bracelet made from yarn, tied in a loop. Erin's niece had made it for her the week before she vanished. The location was 2 miles from where her scent trail ended. Whoever took her had backtracked through the forest, away from roads, into terrain no one would have searched by default. That area wasn't even on the initial map grid, which meant one thing. Someone knew the woods. That shifted everything. Police turned their attention to locals. Hunters. Rangers. People with land or trail access. They compiled a list of individuals with past charges related to abduction, stalking, or violence, especially those with ties to remote areas. One name came up. A man named Kurt Renner, 41 years old. Former ranger. He'd been let go 2 years prior after allegedly threatening a female hiker during a dispute over trespassing. Charges were dropped. He lived 10 miles north in a cabin with no internet. Police visited him. He answered the door calmly, offered coffee, and claimed he hadn't been in the Cobble Hill woods in years. But something about his tone raised suspicion. They left and returned the next day, with a warrant. In his shed, hidden beneath a tarp and firewood, they found a box. Inside, a pair of gloves, a burner phone, and Erin's notebook. Her poetry notebook. Pages torn, some soaked. But her handwriting, unmistakable. They arrested Kurt on the spot. But he refused to speak. No confession. No denial. Just silence. Back at the station, detectives noticed something odd. The burner phone had 2 saved numbers. One traced back to a construction worker in another county, unrelated. The other? A prepaid line that pinged from the motel Wi-Fi the night of the check-in. The same night a wake owl posted that poem. That meant Kurt wasn't working alone. And Erin? She still wasn't found. Chapter 3 begins with a single message, typed onto the forum just hours after the arrest. One all down. One still watching.
Just when the case seemed to be cracking, with Kurt Renner in custody and Erin's notebook recovered, investigators received a time-stamped video emailed from an encrypted account. The video was only 10 seconds long. It showed Erin, pale, frightened, but alive, sitting in a dimly lit room with concrete walls. A black hoodie was draped behind her chair. She whispered a single sentence. "He's not the only one. Please hurry." Then the screen cut to black. Police traced the metadata. The video had been uploaded just 47 minutes before Kurt was arrested. That meant one terrifying truth. Someone else was still out there, watching, and Erin was still alive.